In 1947, the United States Air Force was trying to break the sound barrier on purpose, using a rocket-powered experimental aircraft called the Bell X-1. They succeeded. Chuck Yeager became the first person to officially fly faster than sound. But here's what almost nobody talks about. A year earlier, in 1946, a pilot accidentally broke the sound barrier in a fighter jet never designed to go that fast, and nearly died doing it. This is the story of the F-86 Sabre, the pilot who survived, and the discovery that changed aviation forever. In the mid-1940s, the sound barrier wasn't just a speed record, it was considered a wall. Engineers genuinely believed that as an aircraft approached Mach 1, the speed of sound, the shockwaves building up around it would tear it apart. They called it the sound barrier for a reason. Several pilots had already died trying to push past it. The faster a plane flew, the more violent the shaking became. Controls would freeze or reverse. The nose would pitch down uncontrollably. It felt like the plane itself was fighting back. The quest to break that barrier was one of the most dangerous engineering challenges in history. And it was happening in secret, in the desert of California at a place called Muroc Army Airfield. The F-86 Sabre wasn't designed to break the sound barrier. It was designed to be the best fighter jet in the world. North American Aviation developed it using captured German aerodynamic research from World War II, research that revealed the secret of swept wings. Instead of straight wings, swept wings delayed the buildup of shock waves, allowing aircraft to fly much faster. The F-86 was the first American jet to use this technology. It was fast, agile, and beautiful, widely considered the finest fighter of its era. But nobody expected what happened during a test dive in 1946. A test pilot pushed the F-86 into a steep dive from high altitude. As the aircraft accelerated, something unexpected happened. Instead of becoming uncontrollable, instead of shaking itself apart, the F-86 punched through Mach 1 and came out the other side. The pilot had no idea what had just happened. The instruments weren't designed to measure supersonic speeds. It wasn't until engineers analyzed the data that they realized what they had. The accidental supersonic flight of the F-86 revealed something crucial, something that would change aviation forever. The sound barrier wasn't a wall, it was a threshold. On the other side of Mach 1, the violent shaking stopped. The controls responded. The aircraft flew smoothly. The barrier didn't destroy aircraft. It was the transition through it that was dangerous. And with the right wing design, that transition could be survived. This discovery directly influenced the design of the Bell X-1, the rocket-powered aircraft that Chuck Yeager would officially use to break the sound barrier on October 14, 1947. Yeager didn't just climb into the X-1 and hope for the best. Engineers already had evidence, especially from the F-86's accidental flight, that surviving Mach 1 was possible. The F-86 didn't get the credit, but without it, the sound barrier might have taken years longer to break. Chuck Yeager was 24 years old when he broke the sound barrier. He was a West Virginia farm boy who had become one of the most gifted pilots in the Air Force, a World War II ace who had shot down 13 German aircraft, including one day where he downed 5 in a single mission. But on October 12, 1947, 2 days before the historic flight, Yeager broke 2 ribs falling off a horse. He told almost nobody. If the Air Force found out, they would have grounded him and given the mission to someone else. On the morning of October 14th, Yeager climbed into the Bell X-1, a bright orange, bullet-shaped rocket plane, with broken ribs using a sawed-off broomstick to help him close the cockpit door because he couldn't reach it with his injured arm. The X-1 was dropped from a B-29 bomber at 20,000 feet. Yeager ignited the rocket engine and climbed. At 43,000 feet, traveling at Mach 1.06, the Machmeter needle jumped off the scale. The sound barrier was broken. On the ground, the engineers heard a sonic boom, the first ever produced by a crewed aircraft. They didn't know exactly what it meant at first. Then someone checked the data. Yeager radioed back. "Say, Ridley, make another note. She's writing fine." The breaking of the sound barrier didn't just set a speed record, it opened a door. Within a decade, supersonic flight went from experimental to military standard. The F-100 Super Sabre became the first production aircraft capable of supersonic speed in level flight. Then came the SR-71 Blackbird, still the fastest crewed aircraft ever built, capable of Mach 3.3. And then Concorde. The lessons learned from the F-86's accidental flight, from Yeager's courage, and from the Bell X, one program directly led to everything that came after. Every supersonic aircraft flying today exists because of what happened in the skies over the Mojave Desert in 1946 and 1947. And the pilot who accidentally started it all, he never even got credit for it. His flight was classified for years. History remembered Yeager, but the story of the F-86 is just as important. If you want more stories like this, like the hidden moments behind the biggest breakthroughs in aviation and space, subscribe to Cleared Above. New video every 2 weeks. I'll see you on the next one.